Hey guys, welcome to the webinar. You guys there? Woo! Hey you guys, Michael Blanc here. Late night party. Hey man, where you guys calling in from? Let me know in the chat. There's a chat box. I don't know where you are on the bottom, maybe on the phone or on the right if you're on a computer. So where are you guys calling in from? Let me know in the chat box. We can start momentarily here. Hey Eric, how's it going? Jay, Sean in Orlando, what's going on? Houston, Amir. Thomas in Tampa, what's going on? Scotty in Massachusetts. Anthony in Minnesota. Whoo, it's got to be cold there. It's cold here in Virginia. Hey, Robert, where are you guys calling in from? Yeah, hey, Jay. Oh, my gosh, I can't keep up with you guys. You guys are way too fast for me. Vincent, David from Detroit, Steven from Steven. All right. Hey, we got Brian from St. Augustine, Florida. Joe from Miami. What's going on, Yeti? You guys are all on time. I've trained you guys so well to be on time. That's awesome because guess what? We're going to start on time, too. Alexi. Eric. G2. What's going on, G2? How's it going, my friend? Matt from Southern California. Hey, Jeff in LA. What's going on? What's going on? Tristan. Hey, Bob in Dallas. What's going on? Constantine. You guys are all on time. I love it. I love that you guys are on time. This is fantastic. Awesome. Hey, Harris, Daniel Parker, Virginia, Catherine from Colorado. Gary, what's going on? George from okay, I got you, Conway. Connection problems. That's no good. That's no good. Daggone internet. Woo! All right. Let me turn my techno music off here. I am enjoying it though. I could listen to this thing all day long. And I just might. Awesome, you guys. So yeah, thank you, Rick. Good seeing you. Spinning the wheel for me. I love it. Yes, sir. All right, we have a really big turnout today. So this is actually a live webinar, you might guess. No one really does these anymore. I haven't done one in a while. I haven't done one since March. So I'm really excited to do one. Really excited you guys are here. Biggest one we've ever done. So I'd like to welcome you guys all to the webinar. I'm really excited. This is part one of a monthly series that we're going to do. And the first one is going to be how to raise $100,000 in 90 days. So just a couple of rules on the road. Hey, you guys, is we're going to have the chat on. Now, just a warning, though, you guys got to be nice on chat. Okay? So I have Nick helping me. Nick is all the way from Australia. Nick, say hello to the people. Say hello, Nick, via chat. Nick's going to watch the chat, okay? If you guys are not nice to each other or to me or anything else, you are going to be out of the webinar, okay? It's a very simple rule. Now, if you guys are having trouble with the connection, it's never my fault. That's what I tell my family, never my fault. Just try to reload the connection, and that should do it, all right? Now, Instagram, do me a favor. We're going to do a Q&A at the very end here, but we're not going to get all the questions. So if you have questions, do me a favor, write this down. Go to my Instagram account. It's the Michael Blanc. That's THE Michael BLANK. Go to my Instagram account. You might well do it right now. There's going to be a story. There's going to be a story on there right now that we posted a couple hours ago where you can type in the questions from the webinar and follow me and follow my stories, and then we'll be answering your questions over next week. So really excited. We're new on Instagram. So excited. So definitely see you on Instagram. All right. So this is awesome. Hey, quick question before we get started. I'm trying to plan my live events for next year. So I got a quick poll for you guys. Nick, if you can get ready to queue up the poll. 2 questions. Would you come to an event in October? And would you come to an event in July? Okay. So first question is, the poll is, are you going to be there in, just so it's going to be 2 questions. One is going to be, are you going to be there in October? Just type yes. If you would come to an event in October, type yes. If not, just click no. Okay. Yes or no. If you would come to an event in October. Now, I know most of you guys are going to say yes because we normally have an event in October, but I'm trying to squeeze in 2 different events. Okay, so that's good, Nick. All right, so the next question is, would you come to an event in July? So put up that poll, Nick, for July, and let's see what we get. All right, so the poll is, would you come to an event in July? because there's not a lot of events, actually any events in July. So I'm like, shoot, I might as well put one in July, right in the smack in the middle of summer. All right, so there's that poll now. Would you attend event in July? All right. Okay, I'm not seeing it, Nick. So maybe while I'm talking, you can have the poll up. So if you guys see that poll, just click, and if you would come in July, click yes. There we go. All right, awesome. So we got that out of the way. Really, really cool. So I'm going to go and switch over to my slides now. Welcome to the webinar. Give me a second to switch over. And this is fully live, so you're going to have to bear with us if there are any issues at all. All right, when you guys are done with the poll, type in yes in the chat box if you can see this slide. It's me. It's a blue slide. Type in yes in the chat box if you guys see that. All right, Nick, you can shut the poll down. Let me see some yeses in the chat box if you can see this slide. All right, awesome. So we're going to get going here, guys. So welcome very much to the webinar, How to Raise $100,000 in the Next 90 Days. As I said, it's a series of monthly webinars we're going to do, and I'll give you some insight in what we're doing in January, February, and March. But this is the first. It's kind of a hot topic. Let's see if we have any poll chat. Yes. Okay. Good job. All right. So we're going to keep on trucking here. All right. So here's what I know about you guys, okay? I've talked to so many of you guys that I know that you're in the right place if you're looking for financial freedom with real estate investing, okay? That's why you guys all are on this call. I also know you're on this call because you're interested in raising money. Did I get that right? Type yes in the chat box if I got that right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got that right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to cover what it looks like to do money raising done right. Okay, so by the time we're done, the end result will be that you can raise all the money you want, that you're going to have financial commitments from your investors before you do a deal. So that allows you to make offers with confidence, and you can raise the money in days. Does that sound like a good plan? Type yes in the chat box if that sounds like a good plan to you guys. Let me go check my chat box. I want to see it. Whoo! We have a lot of people on this call. This is freaking awesome. Really excited. All right. So here's what we're going to cover today. You're going to discover the #1 secret to raising money. It's a good one. How to structure the deal, the top investor questions, how to find these investors, what to say to them, how to get the money before the deal, how to joint venture with something called the Money Raisers, and then your own individual 90-day plan to raise $100,000. Does that sound pretty good? Type yes in chat box if you are ready to go. Quick disclaimer while you're doing that. I have to say this, okay, because I get these questions all the time and my attorney makes me do it. But real quick, the results that you're going to see on this call are no guarantees that you're going to get the same results. You know, I have observed that to be successful, you need a mix of desire, good plans, and solid work ethic. Okay, if we agree on that, type yes in the chat box. Okay, we got that out of the way. Hey, this is this purple book here. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it completely ruined my life. Who here, type yes in the chat box if you guys have read this book. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, totally ruined my life. Let me tell you. You know, my life used to be really good. I was part of a software startup. This is me at a company called Web Methods. This is in the late 90s, 97. This was in San Francisco. The company was in Northern Virginia. And I was in the right place, right time. We went public in March 2000, put a bunch of money in my pocket, and life was really good until I read this daggone book. This purple book completely changed my life, and I read it, and it was so fundamentally hit me like a 2x4 upside the head. And after my idea was really to stay in software and be a CEO of a software company. That's kind of what was my idea was. And I read this book, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need financial freedom. I don't know if to work 60, 70 hours like I was doing in a startup. I need financial freedom. So I decided to throw it all away and pursue financial freedom all at the same time. So I went out and I took a mentor for house flipping. I took an apartment building boot camp. I learned how to trade stocks and options. But my big idea, as misdirected as it was pizza franchise. So this is me with my partner in the middle of white shirt. His name is Chris, and another franchisee. And the reason for this idea was because I was surrounded by burger franchisees. And they were like, oh, it costs this much to open. You're going to hire a guy to run everything, and you're going to sit back and count the passive income. I was like, that's what I want. That's what Kiyosaki talks about. That is my cash flow business. And so I took all of my chips and I moved into the middle of the table, and I got into the pizza business. And I had a 20-unit expansion plan on paper. Long story short, guys, I subsequently lost my IPO millions in the restaurant franchise and clawed my way out with real estate. And it's like most people, it's with single family house investing. This is one of our flips before and after. This was, believe it or not, one of our most profitable flips we've ever done. And the problem was I was actually making money. But as you guys know, who are single family house and flippers, you get type yes in the chat box if you guys are single family house investors. Type yes. I want to see what you guys. I want to see who's typing yes. Yeah, a lot of us, right? So that was me, and I flipped like basically my solution out of my dilemma of these restaurants going so badly was real estate flipping, and I made money, but I every time I sold a house, the money would stop flowing. I was like, I can't. This is not what I wanted. I basically created my own rat race for me. And so I did this math. I said, man, if I want $10,000 per month in income and I can get each property to cash flow $200 per month, I would need 50 houses. Now we had just flipped now at this point, 3 dozen houses. So I knew how much work it was. I'm like, man, that's a lot of work. And then even if I did this insanity, someone would have to manage all that stuff. And then down the road, eventually I'd have to sell these things. It's a complete nightmare. I said, man, there's got to be a better way. Meanwhile, I had gotten into this 12-unit apartment building, which was kind of a pain in the butt early on. But after about 18 months, it just started sending me mailbox money every month. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should do more of that and a little bit less or a lot less of this, which was the house flipping stuff. And I really thought about it. And I kind of talked, I really thought about the pros and cons of this approach, and buying whole landlording, single family house versus just going after more multifamily. And there are really advantages that I really, really liked. Let me go over some of those. Number one, the apartment buildings were a lot more passive. Okay, it means I can put a professional manager in place, and they would manage the property for me. And I didn't have that on the single family houses. And I found that most people self-managed their portfolios until it got really big, like 50 units. But with apartment buildings, even for a 12-unit, I can have a professional manage that. That really, really appealed to me. Control. I can control the value of the building, of these red houses. So, for example, I can have one red house worth $1 million and the other one right next to it worth 1.5. Why? Because the one that's worth more is producing more income. So I could take the one for $1 million, make it produce as much income as the one on the right, all of a sudden, and then I can sell it for a profit, or I can refinance out. I can control the value of the building. And all commercial real estate is like that, unlike single family house, which are very dependent on the market. Financing, my gosh, this is a real biggie, because as you guys know, there's limits to how much financing you can get for single family house rentals. But with apartment buildings, the sky is the limit. And if you're doing loan balances above $1 million, there's what's called non-recourse. You don't have to personally guarantee the loan. That's freaking huge. Having defaulted on a bunch of restaurants, I know what that's like. It's not very pleasant. Raising money for real estate is super, super easy compared with any other business in the world. Certainly restaurants or software companies or nightclubs or whatever. Raising money for real estate in general is really easy, but most importantly, it is scalable, meaning I can start small and get big quickly. So I really like that. So I decided to shift from single family house to apartment buildings. And the problem is I had two problems. I had no experience, and I didn't have any cash anymore because they were all deployed in the restaurants, and they were actually losing money. And I thought, guys, I had experience through the single family house stuff. I flipped all these houses. I would call a broker and I would say, I'm the man. And they go, why don't you, how many multifamily have you done? I was like, well, none, but look at all the houses I flipped. And they're like, yeah, call me when you've done a deal. It was unbelievable. So I got started anyway. And I got into this 12-unit kind of sort of by accident. It actually came from one of our wholesalers. And that one deal really changed my life forever, because it set me on the path of financial freedom that I was seeking for so long. And, today we have $27 million in assets that we control. And more importantly than the assets we control is that we have helped students buy over 2,300 units valued $86 million. And that to me is really, really exciting, because that's really my mission, is to help you guys do your first deal so you can become financially free with real estate. And I am enjoying it. I'm actually really busy. I'm working really hard, but I really, really enjoy it. But every once in a while, I can take a vacation. Like this last year, we took 30 days off. This was with me and my family, and I took 30 days off and toured the West, mostly without internet. That was pretty cool. I can go to Uganda. I'm part of a Uganda mission, so I went 2 weeks to Uganda, and it allows me to teach. And I really love to teach. This is me in Dubai. It was really, really exciting. So let's get to the topic of hand, money. Okay. One of the biggest things I hear most of the time is that we're going to address a lot of false beliefs on this call. But the first one is there's no money out there, or if there is, I don't know anyone with money. So let's do the poll. Okay, here we go. If you have at least 25,000 liquid that for investing in real estate, so that could be an IRA, it could be stocks and bonds, type in 25K right now in the chat box. Type it in. Type it in. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Holy cow. Okay. If you have at least 50,000 to invest, type in 50K. Oh, that's amazing. If you have 100K to invest, type in 100K. And if you have more than 100K, type in 100K plus. All right. Now, I'm not good at doing math, especially with, almost 500 people on this call. But when I do this exercise at my local RIA meeting or any group I speak to, and it could be any audience of real estate investors, I can guarantee you that in that room of 50 people, 70 people, there are multiple millions of dollars in that room. So you go to your local RIA meeting, your local meetup, there is money in the room, and they're all looking for deals. They're looking to do something. So there is definitely money out there. And if you don't know anyone with money, you go to these real estate meetings, there are people there with money. So don't tell me there's any money out there. There definitely is money out there. So I hope you saw that, and try to test that on your next RIA and ask, who has what money. You'll be really, really amazed. The second issue that people have is, oh my gosh, Michael, okay, all right, I see there's money out there, but if I don't have a deal under contract, I can't raise money. That's really hard to do, I admit. And let's say I get lucky and someone actually accepts my offer. Now I only have 60 days to raise the money. That's not going to happen, and I would probably agree with you. So they go, look, see, I told you it can't be done. Do you guys want to know how to solve this problem? Type yes in the chat box. Yeah. Okay. Let me tell you how to solve this problem. It's called the sample deal package. How many people have heard of the sample deal package? Type in deal package. Deal package. Type it in. All right. So that's great if you guys heard that. There's a lot of you guys who have not heard about the deal package. So let me talk about it. And more importantly, I'm going to show you how to actually use it. The sample deal package is an investor package. And it has real pictures. It has information about the property, the neighborhood. It has some financials in there. Everything about that package is real except for one thing. You don't actually have it under contract, okay? Now, you tell your investors this, but you use it as a conversation piece. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to have a conversation in a meeting with a potential investor long before you have a deal under contract, okay? So that's it in a nutshell. Now I'm going to, and this boggles people's minds. Okay. People are like, oh my gosh, that is so simple. So simple. But before, 5 minutes before, they couldn't solve the problem I just talked about. So wow, simple. Okay. Now you know. Okay. And just if you're a bit skeptical about this, I want to highlight Ben Morley, one of my favorite guys now, but he was a real pickle. He was a real piece of work early on, because he came to us and says, Michael, I want to raise money and do deals, but I don't like raising money, especially from friends and family. That's my biggest hang up right now. And this man, literally, it was a major problem for him. And it took him probably 3 months to actually get out of a shell and start actually talking to people. And sure enough, within a year, he had raised $250,000 from 5 people. So if you're one of those people and you're as difficult as Ben might be, don't worry, you too can raise money. So let's talk about how to structure the deal. So there's the one thing that you have to remember is that and how to structure the deal is that the investor returns drive the deal. Okay, in other words, you have to know how to what your investor returns are. And we'll talk about that in a second. Once you know that, you can then define the pie defined by the deal and structure it so that the investors meet their return. From that, you can determine, hey, how should we split this? Should it be a 70-30 split, 60-40, 50-50, 80-20? What should the exit strategy be, right? Should we sell in year 5? Should we hold for 10 years? Should we refinance? Okay. But bottom line is it has to be driven by your investors. And for that, you're going to need some kind of financial model. And you can certainly create your own, or you can just use mine, the Syndicated Deal Analyzer, as probably at this point the most popular multifamily analysis tool on the planet. Just Google Syndicated Deal Analyzer, and it'll come up everywhere. And just use that. It makes it very, very simple. But the bottom line is, to answer the question, how to structure deals, all driven by investor returns. Now, if you want to know more about how to analyze deals and answer this question, we're not doing this call, but we do have our next live training is in a month from today, January 6th, 8 p.m. EST. All right. And again, just watch the same URL that you guys watch assigned for this one. That's going to be live at 8 p.m. So just save your date. We're not going to send out information about this for a while, but we're going to go into analyzing deals and making offers in the next trading webinar. Okay. So let's go on to raising money. Top investor questions. You got to be prepared to answer these questions with the investors proactively. They're going to ask you these questions. Why multifamily? Okay. So you got to be prepared to answer that question. And the short answer is multifamily is above average returns, number one. Number two, attractive risk profile. If you look at the way that multifamily performed in the recession, the default rate was 0.4% versus 4% of all residential houses went into default. Only 0.4 was multifamily. That's amazing. And as an added bonus, you can look at the volatility stock index versus real estate over time. Real estate consistently grows over time. So the volatility is much less than the stock market that was seen in recent past. And number three, incredible tax benefits. Okay, so those are the three reasons why multifamily. Why you? Why should I invest with you? Why should I invest with your team? You better have a good answer for that. What is the risk? We just talked about the attractive risk profile, but you better know what the risks are. And no investor wants you to tell them, oh, this is a no-brainer. There's no risk at all. Okay. If someone tells you that, you better run. So what are the risks? And identify some of the risks and what you're doing about it. How long are you going to keep my money? Is it going to be a sale in year 4, 5, 6, refinance? How long you want my money? And then finally, what are the returns? After you've addressed all these things, what are the returns? What are the minimum investment? And what is the process? Okay. So just be prepared for those questions. And they're not hard to answer. Just these are the questions that you want to be prepared for. Now, the keys are get your education, be educated about this stuff. Okay. We'll talk a little bit about later on. Just get your education and preparation. Be prepared to answer these questions, and then be prepared to listen as well. Really listen to your investors. Don't say, well, it's going to be a 70-30 split and a 70-30, ask your investors, how much returns do they need? What's cash on cash return? Ask them, hey, how long are you comfortable with a hold? Are you okay with a 5-year hold, 10 years? Just ask them, because your investors might be considerably different than my investors. So really, really listen to your investors. There's no cookie cutter approach at all. Listen a lot. All right. Okay. You guys still there? Type yes. A lot of stuff here. Type yes in the chat box if you're still out there. I'm going to look and see if you're still out there. All right. Awesome. Okay. How to find your investors. You are going to find your investors by looking at your current sphere of influence, obviously, because that's where you got to start. So the first thing you do is you're going to create a mind map. So for each social group you're part of, create like a bubble. Like, for example, friends is a bubble, neighbors, coworkers. You maybe go to church or synagogue. You go to Boy Scouts. You go to poker. Whatever. Golf. Create all these bubbles and write down the people that are associated in each of those social groups and write down those names. You'd be surprised how many people you actually know. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to start contacting everybody you know. And in those conversations, you want to get referrals, and that's how you extend your reach. Okay, so that's fundamentally how you find the first wave of investors. I'm going to talk in a second about how to expand that network. But you got to start there. If for nothing else, even if everyone you know has no money at all, it is still practice. It's still very valuable. And by the way, everybody knows somebody. So here's some tips for raising money. Number one, don't raise money. What do I mean by that? Don't go out there with the agenda, I'm going to raise money. I need to raise money, raise money. Don't do that. Okay? I want you to build relationship with people. And the way to think about it is to really share your enthusiasm with people. Don't go in there and go, hey, Sam, I'm getting this apartment building thing. I'm looking for $100,000. Are you in? They're going to be like, no, You crazy fool. I'm not. What are you talking about? So don't do that, right? So you want to be intentional about the relationships that you're building, and you really want to talk to everyone, like we just talked about. Don't discriminate, even if you know they don't have any money. Number one, it's good practice, and number two, they probably know somebody. What you're looking for really is a series of yeses. So don't ask a question and you're gonna get the no to. Like I just had an example with Sam. They're gonna say no, but for example, hey, you've seen an old coworker, you haven't seen him in 2 years. Call up the old coworker because they're on your mind map, and you go, hey Joe, hey, it's been a while. You want to grab coffee? What's Joe gonna probably say? Yeah, sure, let's go. Right? If you call them up and say, hey, I'm raising money, you're in for $100,000, he's gonna say, are you out of your mind? He's gonna say no. So you want to get a series of yeses, and that varies based on who you're talking to. So craft your conversation intentionally in that direction. Again, so instead of you talking about politics and sports and doing small talk, yes, do that, but be intentional about your conversation and say, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe, I'm so excited. I'm getting this apartment building, investing stuff. I just did a property tour. I have a coach and really excited. They go, really? He goes, yeah, it's amazing. And I'm raising money from investors, and they're getting a 13% return. And wow. And they're like, wow, it's amazing. And if they're interested, then you can continue the conversation. And if they're not, well, then don't continue conversation. But your goal really is to be intentional with your conversation. Are you guys getting that? Intentional conversation? Type yes, if that makes sense to you. Okay. Now your goal is that you want to set meetings, okay, for people who are interested. You said, hey, I'm looking for, the conversation's ready. I'm looking for $100,000. Do you know anyone? And now you're not putting them directly on the spot. They're less likely to say no. They goes, oh, my boss might be interested, or my neighbor might, or my brother-in-law might be interested, or they might say, well, shoot, I'm interested. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to set meetings. You want to get the conversation to the point where you have a first meeting. Let's talk about the first meeting. You guys ready for the first meeting? Type yes. Type yes in the chat box. We're ready for the first meeting. All right. So exciting. Now we have our first meeting. This could be a lunch or breakfast meeting. First thing you want to do is build rapport, right? People do business with people they like and trust. So build rapport, keep it short. And you're going to continue building rapport by start talking about your team. Notice how I don't say start talking about yourself. Don't do that. Okay. Because if you're a newbie, you have nothing to bring to the table. You have no track record, or maybe you don't have any money, so no, don't talk about yourself. Talk about your team. Talk about the property manager who manages 3,000 units in town. Talk about a coach if you're working one. Talk about an advisory board. Talk about the SEC attorney that you have. Talk about your team. Are you guys getting that? Don't talk about yourself. Talk about your team. Wow. Remember, the investor is mostly concerned about risk. Okay, so don't start talking about the fantastic returns and there's no risk involved. Talk about the downside. Address their fears head on, okay? And then address the top investor questions that we outlined earlier. Just really, in your head, be proactive. Don't wait until they ask all these questions. Know in advance, talk about that in your story. Talk about those questions. Why multifamily? Why me and the team? What are some of the risks? Just address those proactively. Then you can talk about the sample deal package. And I like to keep this as a leave behind because the sample deal package has a lot of words in it. You don't want to whip this thing out and make the guy or gal read in front of you with it. Don't do that. Just take it out, show the structure of it, and say, hey, check this over. Take it home and look it over, and it will give you a conversation piece for after the meeting. Okay, but that's now the time to use the sample deal package right now. Then you want to describe the closing logistics because they're going to want to know. And you're going to know what those closing logistics are. You can describe that to them, and that way they know, hey, if I'm interested, what are the next steps exactly? And then what you're looking for is you're looking for a verbal commitment. You're looking for someone to say, hey, if you get me a deal that looks substantially like the sample deal package, I would be very interested for investing $50,000, $75,000, $100,000. And that's what you want to do. Okay, you're looking for verbal commitments. And then before you leave the meeting, you want to agree on next steps. Hey, take a look at the sample deal package. When should we connect again? Oh, let's give me a week and let's do another phone call. So every time you interact with someone, you always get agreement on the next step. Does that make sense, guys? Type yes if that makes sense. Okay. Now you had a great first meeting. What you want to do now is you want to confirm something. This is what I like to do. This is just an insider tip. Sometimes I like to confirm the verbal commitment with a letter of intent. This could be an email or it could be a single page that says, hey, just want to summarize our conversation. You said that if you find a deal substantial like that, you would be interested in $75,000. Did I get that right? And they would go, yes. Now, if you want to take it a step further, you can actually maybe sign a piece of paper, totally non-legally binding. But what it does do, it does weed out some of the tire kickers who lie to you and say, oh, I'm in. And then when push comes to shove, they're like, oh, I actually never had the money or wasn't really interested at all. So this is an insider tip. Number 2, very important, stay in touch. You want to stay in touch with them. You want to send them an email or give them a phone call and just stay in touch, because you might not have a deal right away. It might be another 2 or 3 or 4 months. So always stay in touch. All right. So here's the closing process. Okay. It's actually pretty simple. When you have a real deal, you actually send them the real deal package. And it looks a lot like the one they ordered, like the sample deal package. Confirm the previous commitment. Hey, Sam, are you still good for $75,000? Okay. And then they review and sign the legal documents. There's several. There's going to be a subscription agreement. There's going to be a private placement memorandum, an operating agreement, depending how you structure. But don't worry about any of these things, because your attorney is going to handle them. Okay. Don't get all bent out of shape about these things. When it comes time, your attorney will craft all the legal documents. They're going to ask questions about the deal, about you, and they're going to get to work and produce this legal mumbo jumbo. You don't have to worry about any of that, okay? But your investors have to sign the operating agreement or whatever case. So they review and sign the documents, and then they essentially wire the funds to the title attorney. That's it. That's the closing process, okay? Now, what have we done right now? We have just outlined the blueprint for raising money the right way. Because if you follow what I just talked about, you can raise all the money you want. Literally, all the successful money raisers follow this process. And you can have financial commitments before the deal. Okay, imagine if you had 5 people committed at $50,000 verbally and you had $250,000 behind you. I mean, wouldn't that give you the confidence to make offers on $1 million property? Type yes in the chat box if you think that would actually help. Yeah. And then what happens is you can actually raise money in days, because now you call your 5 guys and you say, hey guys, remember the conversation we had a few months ago? Yeah, I got a real deal. Check it out. Send it over. And within a day or two, they'll go, I'm in, or I'm not in. But within a few days, you will have raised your money seemingly by magic. All right. Is that pretty cool? Type yes in the chat box if that's pretty cool. Do you guys see yourself doing that? Type yes in the chat box if you see yourself doing that. Yeah, totally, guys. Come on. This is not rocket science. Now, here's some insider tips about expanding your network. This is pretty cool, but I only want you to do this once you've mastered this phase 1, okay? Don't start with this advanced crap, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed, but I'm going to give this to you anyway, because I already hear people asking, yeah, okay, but what do I do then? How do I don't know anyone, Michael. This is not going to work for me. First of all, that is not true, but here's what you can do. Here's expand. First of all, network online. Okay, so there's all these online forums. For example, if you're part of our Dealmaker Mastermind, there's several hundred people in there you can network with online. There's forums like Bigger Pockets. There you go. Network online. Great way to network. Attend networking events. Go to your local RIA. Go to your local meetups. Go to our conferences. We have 2 in the year. Go to other people's conferences. Attend events. It's amazing how powerful the networking is. And then you want to grow your list with a blog, YouTube, social media. So you're going to put up a website. You're going to have maybe a free download, a free ebook, or a free report. You're going to have a lead capture form. And then you are going to drive people to register with you to get that freebie, whatever it is. And you're going to grow your list. You're going to have a YouTube channel, and you're going to get people to register with you. So you start growing your email list. Okay, it's very, very important. Next thing is you could do is you can start a meetup. Very powerful, very easy to do. Start with a handful of people, and you will be amazed at what you'll do later. So really, really super thing to start a meetup. And there's some advanced stuff. You can start a podcast, and you can write a book. The way I want you guys thinking about this in the bigger picture, okay? I don't want you to think tactical. I want you to think bigger picture. I want you to think about building your brand. Now, I know this surprises a lot of you guys, but at our last conference, Dealmaker Live, we actually had a marketing expert who knows nothing about raising money in syndication talk about how you build your brand. And people were really surprised by that. And people were like, holy cow, I never thought of it that way. So I want you guys to think of yourself that raising money in syndication is really part of you building your brand. So start thinking about that. Does that blow your mind? Type yes in the chat box if that blows your mind. Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome. All right. Now, let me leave you with your 90-day plan here. Here's your 90-day plan, okay? Because I am a very actionable kind of guy, okay? So here's your 90-day plan, $200,000. Week 1, the first 2 weeks, you're going to create your sample deal package. Now, you may have to get your education a little bit. You need some education. You can knock that out in a week. We have an ultimate guide course that you just get your education around and create your sample deal package. Okay, that's number one. And then contact everyone. Like we talked about, start emailing people and start conversations and start setting meetings with people. So that's what you're going to start doing in weeks 1 and 2. And then what you're going to do then for the remaining 10 weeks, you're going to set 1 meeting per week. All right. Can you do that? Can you set 1 meeting with someone per week for 10 weeks? Type yes if you can do that. Now, I think some of you guys are saying I can probably do more than that, but let's just go with 1. And then out of those 10 meetings, you're going to get 4 people to commit $25,000. Okay. Now, $25,000 is not a big number. I would actually encourage you to set your minimum to $50,000 because the person who has 25 most likely has 50. I would caution you strongly against going below 25. You might think in your head that raising $5,000 at a time is easier. I will tell you it is not. It's the same amount of work and worse. The people who can only have $5,000 to invest are probably the last $5,000 they have. And they're going to be watching it like a hawk. They're going to call you every day, every week and go, hey, man, how about now? Where's my return? Where's my check? How about now? Why is it not going to plan? Why is your report late? Okay, so trust me on this. You might think it's harder to raise $50,000 than $25,000. It's actually not. So I would highly suggest $50,000. But there you go, okay? There you go. There's your 90-day plan to raise $100,000. And my gosh, even if you miss this goal, okay, it might take you another week or 2 or a month longer, but this is how you do it. And a lot of people I've talked to them about this. He goes, $100,000, that's nothing. That's really nothing. People can use this 90-day plan to raise $500,000. The point is this. You can do this in the next 90 days. Can you do it? Type yes in the chat box. All right. That's what I'd like to see. All right. Now, what I'm really excited about is that there's really 4 ways to get started in the raising money realm, okay? Because you might be thinking, is this for me? Is this not for me? What I love about this business is there's really 4 ways you can get started in the money raising business. Number 1 is, of course, the syndicator. The syndicator is the entrepreneur that does everything. They find the deal, they raise the money, they put the manager in place, and they make the whole thing work. Okay, that certainly is an option. A lot of you guys are going to want to go the syndicator route, but there's some other ideas. There's some other things out there. You could be a deal finder. You could be the guy hustling and finding a deal. And that's, in fact, how we did the majority of our units that I described earlier through our Deal Desk program. People find the deal, they bring them to us, and we partner with them and raise all the money. And in turn, they become a general partner. Is that cool? So if you find a deal, bring it to us, we'll raise the money for it. Or bring it to someone like us. And what I want you to start thinking is that you can joint venture with people. If you have the deal, you joint venture with the people with the money. The other way you can get started is by simply passively investing. If you have money or you're a high income earner and you want to generate passive income and you want to get started in this business, then passively invest in a deal to see how it all works. And then you can become what's called a money raiser. This is so cool. You learn the art of raising money, but you're actually never finding deals, analyzing deals, and making offers. No, you're actually using your money skills, money raising prowess to raise money from others. And then you bring that into the general partnership. Okay, so a lot of times how we fund our deals, we actually have money raisers that all they do is raise money and they bring them to us. Is that pretty cool? Type yes if that's pretty cool. Again, learn this art of raising money. It is amazing, amazing what you can do. The sky is literally the limit if you do that. All right. So here's what I want you guys to consider, because it's impossible to teach you all aspects of raising money in just 60 minutes. But is that pretty cool, guys? Type yes in chat. Was that pretty cool? I mean, can you start believing and seeing the process? Now, you might be missing some of the details, okay? That's okay. I'm going to fill in some of those holes right now. But I created a special package for you guys because it's going to give you all the details, all the remaining questions you might have. It's going to answer all of that. And my passion really is, and this is, I want to help you guys do your first multifamily deal, because I know if I can do that, you'll be financially free in the next 1, 2, 3 years at the most. Most people are done in 1 and 2 years of that. So is it okay if I share with you this package I put together with you? Type yes in the chat box. All right, I appreciate that. So what I put together for you here is an incredible kind of bundle of it's called the Ultimate Guide to Buying Apartment Buildings with Private Money. And one component of this is going to be an online course. Okay, the online course covers all aspects of apartment building investing with a special focus on private money. Okay, so it's going to be 8.5 hours of of me teaching you one-to-one. You can pause me, resume me. You can download the audio and listen to it in your car or at the gym. You can download a PDF. Every multimedia. It's me teaching every aspect of apartment building investing, and I spend the most time on raising money. That's the very topic we have. We go into detail. We go into all the detail. There will be no question unanswered once you're done with this module. We talk a lot about the area, selecting the area to invest, how to find the deals if you're a syndicator deal filer, how to build your team, and then how to analyze the deal. And we use a syndicated deal analyzer I mentioned earlier. And this is important whether you're a passive investor, you're a syndicator, or a money raiser. You have to be able to know, is this a good deal? And the syndicated deal analyzer answers that for you. Due diligence, financing the deal, and the actual closing process. How do we manage the property manager for maximum profit? And then when's the best time to exit and some value there? So it's 8 hours of me teaching in your living room or wherever. And my hourly coaching rate is about $1,000. In fact, I don't even do coaching anymore at all. But if I did, I would charge you $1,000 to sit there and teach you everything I know. So that's an $8,000 of value. Literally, you will be amazed. People say this is the absolute best course I've ever taken because I'm so detail-oriented and so actionable. You will know exactly what to do. Now, with that also will come the syndicated deal analyzer I keep talking about. And you can actually buy that separately for $129. And people tell me constantly that this is totally underpriced, but as a result, I was speaking at an Adams at an event with about 300 people in the room, and I just asked how many people have the SDA, and a third of the room raised their hand up, and it wasn't even my audience, which is really cool. But I mean, I literally spent $17,000 over the last 5 years to develop this thing, and I sell it for $120. So this is all included, and it's actually central to everything that you need for analyzing deals, doing due diligence, even for asset management later on. This is so important. You're going to get a document library, okay? And it also took me years and $11,000 in attorney fees to put this together. And it's got sample contracts, checklists, things of that nature. So, hey, are you looking for a contract to make a formal offer? It's in there. Do you need a checklist so you can track your due diligence documents? It's in there as well. Do you need an operating agreement template so you can customize it, give it to your attorney, and save a bunch of money? There's actually 2 in there. Let's see what else. Do you want to see what an actual private placement memorandum and a subscription agreement looks like so you can explain it to your investors? That's also included. So that took me $11,000 in attorney fees, and that doesn't even include my time. And you're going to get all that stuff so you don't have to figure it out yourself. You're going to have 6 video case studies. Now, I will let you look over my shoulder as I analyze 6 deals for you. And this is so that you can analyze deals yourself quickly and accurately so you can make offers with confidence, okay? So if I were to offer to show you how I analyze a deal, it would cost you $1,000 per deal. And I have 6 of them where you can just watch me do it. Total value, $6,000. So here's what you're getting today right now. You're getting the complete multimedia online course, the syndicated deal analyzer, the document library, and the 6 video case studies. That right there is a $25,000 value. Just amazing. Now, some of you guys might be concerned about the time commitment, okay? And I get this. You need the time for it. But let me tell you a story about Brad Tasha. Brad Tasha was an engineering project manager. He was working 55 plus hours per week, and he was on call on many evenings because he was in a production environment. And he built this thing up on the side. He's actually now a full-time investor, and he's actually one of our mentors right now. So if he can do it, anyone can do it. All right. Now, there's one thing I want you guys to remember. I'm very focused on one thing, and I just want to boil it down. That's the one thing I want you guys to remember today, and that is focus on your first deal. Okay, this is this Gary Keller book. That what's the one thing, if you could achieve it, would make everything else simpler or even unnecessary. And the one thing here for the purpose of becoming financially free with real estate is your first deal. And let me just tell you real quick why I know this to be true. It's due to this curious law of the first deal. And it says this: if you can do a multifamily deal of any size that includes a duplex, you will be financially free in the next 3 to 5 years. And that's the official law, but the truth of it is it's actually more like 1 to 2 years. And I'm going to show you some examples right now. But normally what happens is, here's a progression. Let's say You cannot wrap your head around anything bigger than a duplex. Let's say you do a duplex. Oh, it took really long time and you finally hemmed and hawed and got it done. What happens now, the next deal, the second deal, follows in rapid, almost automatic succession. And it's not a duplex. It's going to be a 10 unit. After that, the deal is going to be 30 unit. And after that, the deal is 50 plus. So pick your favorite entry point. This is the universal law of the first deal. Literally like 98% of the people I interview in my podcast follow this rule almost to a T. And most of them have quit their jobs in 1 to 2 years. So here's Brad again. It took him a long time. It took him 2 years to replace his income, but here was his progression. From the day he decided to do multifamily, okay? And I always ask people, when do they decide? Because it's very, very important, as we'll talk about later. The decision point is very, very important. From that point forward, it took him 12 months to do a 12 unit. It took him a really long time to do a 12 unit. But then a surprising thing happened, or maybe not so surprising. He had it took him 5 months to do the second one, and then it took him 4 months to do a giant 63 unit. Okay, and notice how the deals are getting faster and bigger. And then it took him 2 years to replace his income. Here's another one, Drew Niffin. Let me do his progression. He decided, it took him 3 months from the point. He started small. Okay. This is why I used to say, oh my gosh, starting small, waste of time. I no longer think that. He did a 3 unit, could have been a duplex, doesn't matter. 3 months. Took him a month to do his second deal, 2 months to do a 32 unit, and he quit his job in 8 months. Is that amazing? Absolutely amazing. Here's another one. Just so you know, I'm not making this stuff up. Tyler Sheff. It took him 11 months. So 6 months to do a 4 unit, 3 months to do a 10 unit, 3 months to do a 12 unit, 11 months. And that's just the power of the first deal, of the law of the first deal. So don't get overcomplicated with things. Focus only on your first deal. That's the one thing. Don't focus on financial freedom and how many hundreds of units you need. Don't worry about that at all. And so this is why I focus all of my resources, guys, on just one thing, which is your first deal. And this is why, in addition to what I just showed you, which will basically teach you everything you need to know about apartment building investing, there are actually 5 bonuses that I want to give you that will knock your socks off because it will accelerate your process of doing your first deal. You guys ready for this? Type yes in the chat box if you're ready. Okay, awesome. You're going to love this because here's the thing. No one offers these things I'm about to show you. It's unique to the Michael Blank program. So I'm really excited about that. Number one is your instant credibility in a box. Okay, so if you decide to invest with us today, you're going to get proof of funds up to $1 million. Okay, so if you're getting into a deal and your broker gives you a hard time, we will give you a proof of funds for up to $1 million. And if you need more, frankly, we can get you more as well. Also, you can list us as an advisor onto your advisory board. You can say that you're working with a Michael Blank team. All right. And so this will basically give you instant credibility to get you past any broker who tries to give you a hard time. Look, I had to work years to establish this track record that we have right now. And you just basically get it as a special bonus. Is that pretty cool? All right. So boom, instant credibility. I don't know, easily worth $1,500 or more. The next thing is this vision map and 90-day plan. Okay. So when you invest today, you'll get my never before released vision map and 90-day plan. So you can map out and achieve your goals in a fraction of the time. I spent an entire month building this out based on 5 years helping students do their first deal. If I were to offer this as a service, I would not, frankly, take any less than $2,000 for it. And now you don't have to figure it out. I'm going to give you the exact roadmap for the 90 days and beyond for your first deal. And I'm giving it to you as a bonus. So the other thing I want to show you is I'm going to give you 1 month access to my Dealmaker Mastermind program. No one else has this program because it gives you 3 things. It gives you access to an online community where you connect with other like-minded people, mastermind with them, raise money, or partner. And that's pretty cool, the online community. Other people have that as well. And you get some discounts off my live events, which is pretty cool. But here's what's new and interesting about that. It gives you ability to get you live feedback from one of our mentors on your analysis so you know you're doing it right. I mean, how do you know you're using the analyzer? How do you know you're doing it right? Answer, the Dealmaker Mastermind, because you're going to upload your SDA and someone's going to critique your analysis. That's amazing. So you're going to get the first month for free if you invest tonight. And after that, it's just $49 per month. All right. So that's included for the first month free, so you can check it out. Now, the other thing that the Dealmaker Mastermind gives you is it gives you access to our deal desk. Okay. You guys maybe have heard about the deal desk. This is the coolest thing on the planet. No one else offers this. Okay, this is absolutely huge. We've done 8 deals now totaling 1,000 units in the last 2 years. We are the only people that have done this successfully to date. No one else offers this, which means that you bring us the deal, we'll raise the money. Now, let me ask you a question. If you didn't have to worry about the money, would that make a huge difference to you? Type yes in the chat box if you think that might help you do your first deal faster. Yeah, totally. You know, we had one of our lenders offer to introduce us to their high net worth investors, and all we had to do is pay them a flat fee of $6,000, which I thought was pretty cool. But that would have only been an introduction. Okay, we still would have had them do the work. The difference with this thing is that we'll actually raise the money for you. All I'm saying is the point is that a deal desk alone is worth at least $6,000. I don't know a single training program that offers anything like this. Now, others offer networking opportunities, and you'll have to pay upwards of $20,000 to get in the room. But they don't actually partner with you, okay? So as far as I know, we're the only one actually successfully pulling this off, and you get that with your Dealmaker Mastermind membership. First month is free. After that is only $49 per month if you want to stay on board. Cancel anytime. Here's what Patrick had to say about the deal desk.
69-unit deal that I submitted through Michael's Dealmaker Mastermind program. I submitted the deal, got feedback. Michael raised all of the equity needed to close. And after we closed, I cashed a nice acquisition check. About 2 weeks later, I had 196 unit under contract, and I literally feel like the sky's the limit. I couldn't have done it without you, Michael, and I appreciate everything. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Patrick, by the way, has already quit his job. He's a full-time investor, and that first deal desk deal kicked it off. So super, super cool program. Now, bonus number 5, and this is really amazing. Okay, no one else does this either. Okay, no one else offers is the Financial Freedom Summit. We offer this twice a year. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Okay, so how many of you would like to experience what it's like to actually do a deal? Type yes in the chat box if you would actually love to experience what that's like. Yeah. Now let me ask you, what if I could walk you through an actual deal from start to finish? Would that be pretty cool? Type yes if that would be pretty cool. Now, the problem with this idea is that it would probably take weeks, possibly months to do that. What if I could do it in a single weekend? What if I could get you from contract to close in 2 days, and the entire experience would be delivered to you in a single weekend? Type yes in the chat box if you'd like to be part of something like that. Yeah, so this bonus will give you 2 complimentary tickets to my Financial Freedom Summit that I host twice per year. So during this 2-day event, you're going to experience what it's like to do your first deal. And what we're going to do is you're going to work in small groups and buy a 69-unit apartment building deal, all the way from finding it, analyzing deals, make the offer, get it on a contract, getting the financing, raising the money, and hopefully closing it. But you may have to deal with some twists and turns just like in a real deal. So that's one weekend. No one else offers this. Now, a single ticket to the event costs $19.97 if you were to try to Google this thing, and that's how much it would cost. I'm going to give you 2 complimentary tickets to this event, okay? But here's the thing, guys. You have to go through the course first. This is not your beginner 101, because I'm going to assume you already know how to analyze a deal and make offers because you're actually going to do it. So here's what Ross Springer had to say about the event.
Very well done, very well organized. Love the teaching. They make you go through a real-world analysis to buy your first multifamily deal. The team here that Michael put together, I'm extremely impressed with. Not only do they bring real-world experience, they also bring a peace of mind that helps you out with the anxiety of your first deal. So very happy, highly recommended, worth all the money and time that you invest into it.
Yeah, so here's what you're getting again today. You're getting the core offer, the $25,000 with a multimedia online course, the syndicated deal analyzer, document library, and the 6 case studies, and you're getting these 5 bonuses. The total, so you're getting the instant credibility in the box, you're getting the vision map and 9-day plan, the first month of Dealmaker Mastermind included, then it's $49 per month, the deal desk privileges, and 2 tickets to the Financial Freedom Summit, which, by the way, is coming up in January. And so it's just a couple months away, and we do it twice a year. If you missed it, the one in January, that's totally fine as well. Total value, guys, of almost $37,000. Now, I'm not going to charge you that right now because though I could. I mean, let me ask you a question. Like, if all this thing did was raise as much money as you needed for your first deal, would that be worth it? I mean, would you pay $36,000 for that? Now, what if it gave you instant credibility? You call a broker and they go, "Oh my gosh, I know the Michael Blank guys are great. I'm glad you're working with them. Where should I send this deal?" Like, wouldn't it be worth? Would you spend $36,000 for that? Let me ask you another question. Now, if this system could help you do your first deal in the next 12 months, would that be worth $36,000? Now, how much is ask you this stuff? What is your financial freedom worth to you? I mean, what if you invested $36,000 today and you knew you could quit your job in as little as 12 months, like Tyler Sheff did or Drew Kniffin? Would you pay $36,000 to never have to work again? Now, I have people pay upwards of $25,000 to work one-on-one with one of my mentors to craft their own personal roadmap to financial freedom. And to them, it's totally worth it because the ROI is about 100 times their investment because they really want to quit their jobs and they want to build a legacy for their family. Now, look, a lot of people can't afford $36,000 and a lot of people can't afford $25,000 for personal mentoring. So I thought about charging $10,000 for this because it's totally worth it. But I want this to be more accessible to more people. And, frankly, because I know that it'll help more people do their first deals, and also more people will bring me more deals. So I decided not to charge $10,000 for it or even $5,000. So today, the price on this training right now is $1997. $1997 is the price on this training webinar. And to take advantage of that, go to themichaelblank.com/deal1. So go to themichaelblank.com/deal1. You can also call our toll-free number, 855-855-2983. But go to themichaelblank.com/deal1 and sign up right now. So this offer really expires at the end of this call. And so I want you guys to take advantage of it right now while you still can. Now, I'll put some of the stuff in perspective. Something like at the question is, Michael, this is great. What's the return on investment? So here's a thought. Okay. What is financial freedom worth to you? So let's say your rat race number is $5,000 per month. Now, rat race number is a number of your living expenses that if you could cover with passive income, you could quit your job. So think about that. Now, for every month you wait, it costs you $5,000. So you wait 6 months, it's a $30,000 cost to you. Man, that's a car, right? That's a year's worth of tuition. So put it in perspective that way. Now, if you don't have the 1997, that's okay. Totally fine. You can get started with $475 today. Just make 5 monthly installments and you'll get the same, all the bonuses we talked about here. Those are all yours. Make 5 monthly installments. Let's go to themichaelblank.com/deal1. All right, cool. I see some orders coming in. That's awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Welcome aboard. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm happy to take people's money on the one hand, but really what I want is I want to change your life. That's really what I want. So if this is not for you, you buy this thing tonight and you decide the next 30 days, this is not for me. It's not, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to hassle you for your money back. I never have. You ask anyone ever, I have a really good reputation in the industry. Look, if it's not for you, I'll give your money back for really any reason whatsoever. So you have an unconditional money back guarantee. Now, I know that sometimes life takes over and you kind of think, well, let me think about it tomorrow. And then you get to work and this and that happens. So to induce you to take action right now, I'm going to give you a very, very special bonus. Okay. But I got to say, it's only for the first 10 people. What I'm basically offering you guys is 2 laser coaching calls with me. These are 2 20-minute calls. And as I mentioned earlier, I don't do any coaching anymore or mentoring. I actually have a team that does that. And this allows us to serve more people. So I don't really do this anymore. But for those 10, I will give you 2 laser coaching calls. And that's a $1,000 value. Like literally, if you were to call me up, say, Michael, I want you to mentor me for an hour, I would charge you $1,000. And that is a real thing. And I've actually done that. And I don't really do that much anymore. And I kind of did a bit of kicking and screaming here because 10 people is still a lot. That's 10 hours of my time. That's a lot. So what I suggest, if that's for you, to do one in the beginning, right after you sign up, and then we'll do it again when you've completed your course. to set up your 90-day action plan. That's the way I do that. So it's only for the first 10 though. Okay. So I instructed my staff to cut it off after the 10th person. Again, go to the michaelblank.com/deal1. All right. So here's kind of what you're getting today. You're getting the multimedia course, syndicated deal analyzer, document library, the 6 video case studies. You're getting the instant credibility in a box, the vision map and 9-day plan, the first month of Dealmaker Mastermind, the deal desk privileges with that, and again, that's for the first month free, and then it's $49 a month. And by the way, if you do sign up, once you put your credit card information in on that screen, just click the yes, I want that first month, and just click the button and to get that first month for free. And then the Financial Freedom Summit event coming up in January, and again, probably in the fall. And then for the first 10 only, the 2 laser coaching calls with me, total value of $37,000. $1997 right now on this call, or 5 installments of $475. So go to the michaelblank.com/deal1. Now, if you're still a bit concerned about the level of investment, again, let me put this in perspective. Here's my favorite Frenchman, Philippe. Philippe joined the program last year, May of 2017. In 5 months, he brings us an 80-unit deal. This one was in Memphis. And his share of the acquisition fee for that deal was $33,000. Okay, the investment tonight is only $2,000. So on your first deal alone, the acquisition fee is a 15x ROI, and that doesn't even count the cash flow and the giant profit check when he resells this thing. And that deal is going smoking hot. Okay, so you'll get that back. Here's Bruce Fraser. He's a crazy guy. He joined our program. It took him 9 months now, and he did a 138-unit deal. Amazing, amazing man. 6 months later, 110 units. 6 months later, 80 units. The guy has got $15,000 per month in 2 years. Who would like $15,000 per month in 2 years? Type yes in the chat box, right? Amazing guy. When I first met him, I wasn't sure about him. He was really, really quiet. And then he's just quietly taking action and doing all this stuff. The guy is so unbelievably amazing. So, think about what financial freedom means to you. Think about it for a second. Just close your eyes. I know looking at the picture, but close your eyes. You can imagine that you're covering your living expenses right now. And you can do anything you want. It's actually boggles the mind a little bit. If you can do whatever you want, with whomever you want, it's just to allow yourself to dream a little bit. And I know this is amazing because all of my mentors, for example, are full-time. A lot of my podcast guests are full-time. They literally had to grapple with this. They're home at 2:30 in the afternoon. What should I be doing right now? Do you want that? Do you want that? You could use this to shore up your, to pay for your kids' college education, shore up your retirement if you come up against retirement. I love this quote from Andy Stanley here. It says, "It is your direction, not your intention, that determines your destination." And what this means, it doesn't matter what you want. You can want anything in life. You can say, I want to lose weight, but if you're not eating right or exercising, if you're not actually moving into a direction, it doesn't matter. Okay. Now ask yourself, this is a real question. Pay attention. What happens right now if you say no right now? Which is, by the way, it's fine. You don't have to say yes right now. Not everybody will. But if you say no right now, you're saying no to financial freedom. If you say no, nothing actually happens. You'll be around the same people this time next year. You'll be in the same place this time next year. All you have to do to get that is nothing. But on the other hand, what happens if you say yes? Okay. The point is this: you have to decide right now. It's a decision point. You have to decide right now. Okay. Now here's the thing. Anyone can quit the rat race by using the Ultimate Guide system that I just showed you. Because I showed you that it worked for me. It worked for a lot of other people, and it's also going to work for you. Okay. And it comes with a 30-day guarantee. So look, there's no risk here at all. Now I ask you at the point of decision, are you in or are you out? All right. If you want something different to happen this time next year, you got to do something right now. All right. So if you just decided now in this split second that you want something different, then I invite you to sign up right now. Go to michaelblank.com/deal1 to get this very special offer. Okay. I'm going to put this up just as a summary so you know what you're getting right now as you guys are signing up right now. There are a lot of orders coming, and I appreciate you guys taking action. We're going to take some questions right now. So I want you guys in the chat box to put your questions in. And we're going to answer as many questions as we can. All right. Let me bring up my my little screen here. Okay. All right. So let me know what some of your one of your questions are in the chat box, and you guys sign up right now though. Okay, don't wait. Do it while it's fresh in your mind. Remember, the first 10 get that laser coaching call with me. Let's take some questions here. I know a lot of times the question is, hey, do I get lifetime access? And the answer is yes. You have lifetime access to the course. The only thing you don't have lifetime access to is the Dealmaker Mastermind and the Deal Desk privileges. Okay, you get the first month free, and then it's $49 per month, but you can cancel anytime you want. Okay. Let's see. What are some of the questions here? All right. Let's see. So I heard with the current market, there are not many deals out there right now. And yeah, so here's the thing about that. The answer to that is it's maybe a bit harder than it was 5 years ago, but there are still a lot of people doing a lot of deals. And I know this because of the deal desk that we have. I see the deals coming in, and we don't accept every single deal. Because we can be a little choosier, but there's a lot of activity out there. I see other syndicators and I see other money raisers out there. There are a lot of deals, but when I study what people have in common that do deals, like Patrick that you saw earlier, or like Brad or Drew, they're hustlers. Okay, that's what they have. They hustle. Okay, now if you think you can make a half dozen offers and get a deal, you are sorely mistaken. And if you guys are single family house investors, you already know this. It's a numbers game. So if you're hustling, you will find deals. It's that simple, but they're not going to fall in your lap. That is for sure. Let's see. You guys need to slow down a little bit. I can't read all this stuff. Slow down. All right, good question. Should the focus on the first deal be in your own backyard? And the answer is maybe, but it really depends on where you are. So in the Ultimate Guide course, I show you exactly how you can find the market to invest in. And if you are in one of those markets that has high growth and you can still get cash flow, then you're in luck. Okay. But I assume in the course, just so you know, that you're not one of those lucky people and that you're going to be investing out of area. So how does that mean with regards to travel and phone calls and doing things remotely? Okay. So the answer is, I don't expect you to do deals in your backyard. And the truth is, most people are not, and it's not hard to do. All right. Okay, so this is another great question. When will those of us who already purchased the Ultimate Guide get the Financial Freedom Summit tickets? Okay, so let me speak to you. So what happens is the following. If you sign up right now, within a few days, because the next event is actually coming up in about 2 months, it's end of January 25th to 27th. It's in Washington, D.C. It's actually in Northern Virginia. You're going to get a link with a discount code that reduces that $19.97 ticket to $0. Now, some of you guys, let me speak to some of you guys who are on this call, who you guys may already have bought the Ultimate Guide at this offer, maybe earlier in the year. Okay, it's the same thing for you guys. There's a very few of you guys, and we used to sell the course only without all these freaking awesome bonuses, and before we had the live event. So if you are one of those people, you are going to get another special link. So you're going to get credit for what you purchased towards the event. Okay. If you don't hear from us in the next, say, 5 days, then email support@themichaelblank.com and say, hey, you guys, where's my discount code? All right. And some of you guys may have already attended a previous Financial Freedom Summit. So if you want to come back, you're going to get a special alumni rate. So again, give us about 5 days to send that link out. And if we got it wrong and you don't hear from us, then again, contact support saying, hey, you guys, I've been there before. I want to come again. Give me a special discount as well. Another question is it possible to passively invest with you and be more involved with the deal itself just for learning purposes? That's a great question. We have not done that. If you're typically in your passive investor, most passive investors want to be exactly that. They want to be passive. But there's a small number of people who invest passively so they become more active. Okay, so we're working on this program right now. Now, if you were to be one of our mentor students, we actually allow you to look over our shoulder of a live deal. It's something we're experimenting with. So stay tuned with that. Now, if you want to invest one of the deals and you say, hey, I'll invest with you, but I really want to look a little closer at the deal, and we don't have this program formalized, we'll work with you on a one-on-one basis, okay? But you need to sign up for this program to be considered for that. Okay, awesome. All right, see, what other questions do we have? All right. How can I find new investors? Come on, guys. We talked about that on the call. Oh, my gosh. Oh, by the way, the replay is going out tomorrow. So maybe you started a little late and maybe missed that important thing, which was right in the middle of the training, how to find investors. But if you missed part of the webinar, or maybe you had some technical difficulties, the link is going out tomorrow for the replay, okay? How do you find off-market deals and get the financials? So we're going to talk more about that in a subsequent training class. So the one in January is going to be about how to analyze deals and make offers. Okay, so we're going to talk partly about actually how do we find deals, how do we analyze those, and how do we make offers. We're going to cover that. Again, that's going to be an entire 1-hour training class just on that. So keep a lookout for that. That'll be early January, and we won't promote that until early January. So just it'll be January 6th again. All right, guys. Nick, what else we got? What other things do we have here? How can I build a solid, trustworthy team? Yeah, that's a good question as well. The team is so important. It really is so important. We cover that in detail in the Ultimate Guide course. Okay, so guys, remember, I appreciate there's so many of you guys still on this call, and I'm so appreciative of that. But I want you to. I don't want you asking a bunch of how-to questions, okay? I want you to ask the more important question. Are you in or are you out? Do you want financial freedom? Yes or no? If the answer is no, that's fine, okay? Look, I appreciate you guys already. There's no strings attached to this thing at all. If this is not for you, that's fine. We're still friends. We'll stay connected. We may cross paths again. It's not a problem at all. But I don't want you guys asking how-to questions. I want you guys to questions, do I want financial freedom? Yes or no? Because I'll tell you why. All these how-to questions are great, and I can sit here for hours answering those questions, and I do in the course. Okay, but it's not going to change your decision. You really have to sit there for a second and decide. Just sit there and decide. The decision point is so unbelievably important. I have this plaque here that I give to some of our mentor students. It's a Tony Robbins quote, and it says, "It is in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped." Why is that so important? Why is your decision? Why does that shape your destiny? And I see it in people. What is the difference between people who are successful and people who are not? And it comes back down to this decision point. Some people have decided and some people have not. And then people lie to themselves. They say, oh, I've decided, but they actually haven't. They're lying to themselves and others. So just sit here and close your eyes for a second. Do I want a different life? If the answer is yes, do I think what I just presented to you can get you there? If the answer is yes, then sign up. Sign up right now. Go to michaelblank.com/deal1 and sign up and just do it. Don't look back. Just do it. All right, Nick, what else do we got here? Let's see here. All right. Give me some more questions, guys. All right, that's been answered. Okay. All right. Someone's asking, I got stiffed by another program. How do I know the same thing won't happen? I'm sorry, first of all, that happened. That's terrible. If you ask around, we have a pretty good reputation in the market. Like I said, I mean, I really want to build a team of excellence. I want you to get in there and you're already bowled over by all this value you're getting right now, and I want you to get in there and go, oh my gosh, this is even better than I thought it was. That's the experience I want for you guys, okay? And I do that for everything, for the course, for the mentoring, for the live events, everything that you do. I want you to be so freaking happy that you blab about it to all your friends, and that's really how we're building the business right now. So here's the thing: if you're not happy right now, we're just going to return your money. I've never hassled anybody for it. I've told all my team, I might ask you why so we can get better, but I'm not going to sit there and hassle you for it. So I'm sorry that happened to you. It always makes you a bit cynical when something like that happens, because you feel like it may happen again. So again, I'm sorry that happened to you guys. All right, looks like we're about out of questions. So again, if you have other questions that we can get to right now, go to my Instagram account. We have a story there that you can post your questions, and it's the Michael Blank is the handle. The Michael Blank is the Instagram handle, and we'll answer your questions here all week. All right. So I really appreciate you guys being on this call for this long. Go to themichaelblank.com/deal1, sign up. And if you don't, that's fine. We are still going to be friends. I really appreciate all you guys. And with that, I am signing out. Good night.